gentlemen, welcome back to the All American Savage Show podcast. I am your host, John Burke, and here is my beautiful bearded husband, Josh.
Hey.
How are you doing today?
Doing good. Doing pretty good.
All things considered.
I woke up late and just overdid it with caffeine. Mm-hmm. So I think now I have too much energy.
You got the jitters?
Yeah. Maybe a little too much energy.
All right, so let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Okay, I'm going to close out these things here. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't want to have to address this, but unfortunately I feel we're at a time and place where I have to. Normally, issues that occur between two people in a relationship should be kept private, and I think the airing of personal issues between two people that were once married or dating or whatever the case may be should in fact be kept private, because that is a trust thing between two people. Unfortunately, this is a side of the house that many people don't see when it comes to speaking your mind on social media, when it comes to just putting it all out there. You're going to have haters, you're going to have trolls, you're going to have all manner of people coming against you. Unfortunately, I seem to have an ex-wife that is hell-bent on making my life hell. I have done my best to keep my mouth shut, to not address the passive-aggressive posts and stories that have been made referencing me indirectly, but clearly showing it's me that she's referencing. I have held back bringing out any type of dirty laundry. I don't want to. I don't want to go down that road. I think it doesn't lead to anything productive. It destroys what good memories you did have at one point. Unfortunately, my partner, myself, and others continuously seem to be harassed by messages from fake accounts, telling lies and misinformation that is spread by my ex. Look, don't engage with it. Let it go. Let it be. We don't have to do this. I had said from day one, we don't have to get ugly. We don't have to get nasty. It doesn't have to be that way. I saw how my mom and dad were, how ugly that turned into. I didn't want that. I still don't want that. I'm not going to take the low road on this one. Normally I would. Normally I wouldn't give a fuck. I mean, you know me. But something like this, it's not needed. What's the point in this? It serves no purpose. It only hurts everybody involved. I never wanted people to choose sides or pick friends or anything like that. I just wanted to move on. I still just want to move on and live my life and be happy. It's gotten to the point where anyone that follows me, specifically women, get messages from these troll accounts. I've had 2 women approach me, some bigger followings, saying they're receiving harassing messages about me, spreading lies and misinformation. Lies and misinformation that only my ex would know, because she said it before to me, behind closed doors. I've been attacked. My children have been attacked. I've had my address, my number doxxed. I've had all manner of lies and slander spoken about me behind closed doors, and people seem to think that I'm not in the know on these things. I receive messages. The people that she talks to, they DM me as well, and they show me screenshots. I have not, nor will I ever engage in this as far as slandering her. It doesn't have to happen. I just want it to be left alone, to die and move on. That's all I want. But unfortunately, that's not the case right now. And to the message that you received to that account, whoever it may be, I know you're in league with my ex, that's fine. Your threats don't scare me. If you want to go public with how big of a pervert I am, you feel free. Because here's the deal. I like sex. I like porn. I like threesomes. I like women with big tits and big asses. If you think you're going to lord this over my head somehow as if you're going to make me feel ashamed, well, here's the deal. I'm a grunt. I don't fucking care. I'm a man, and I've got a dick, and I've got testosterone. I like fucking like an animal. I like drinking like a fish. I like all these things. So your pathetic attempt to smear me is not going to work. I wholesomely embrace what a pervert I am. So if that's something you're going to try and use against me as if you're going to shame me, like kink shame me, feel free. I don't fucking care. I've got nothing to lose on that. I love crazy kinky sex. I do. That's why I'm all for it. What you do behind closed doors, do what you want. Don't fucking care. So if you Christian Bible thumpers out there that are trying to take her side on this are going to try and shame me, you feel free to have at it. Oh, and if me sending messages to women that are sexually attracted to me when I'm single and stuff like that, you feel like that's going to get me in trouble, feel free. Go right ahead. Expose me. I challenge you. Go for it. I did nothing wrong. Now, that's the extent of the matter. There was the nuclear option I had considered. I could go live with all kinds of fucking deep, dark, dirty secrets, but I won't. Secrets that would destroy people's careers, people's lives. I'm not going to do it because that paints me to be the person I never wanted to become, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to sink to that level. But when you come at me or my partner or my employees sideways and you try and fucking turn us against each other or whatever the case may be, it's not going to work. What I will do is I will address it like I'm doing now, and I'll come out and I'll admit stuff. I have no problem doing that. So that attempt to shame me, nice try. Now, I made a post on my Instagram talking about women, what turns you on in bed, with the intent for the show. And then as well for men, because there's a point that I wanted to prove in regards to modern day feminism. But instead I was accused by this account of using it to get myself off on. Now I know my hater is listening, whether it be my ex or whomever it could be. I know you're listening. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me your attention. I sincerely appreciate that. You help me with my numbers. You live to try and stop me. Well, we've been doing this for 5 years. You're not stopping me. No one is fucking stopping me. So, you take that for what it is. You continue to message these people. You think I don't know? I do know. I know everything that's going on. Every single thing. Even things that you don't think I know about. I do. And yet I've still kept my mouth shut. Move on. Focus on your happiness. And stop trying to resurrect dead bodies to reopen old wounds. It serves no purpose. It serves no purpose. If you are as happy as you say you are, continuously looking over your shoulder into the past proves otherwise. And I'll leave it with that. I'm not asking anyone to go after her. It's not the intent. That's not the case. Please do not do that. But this has to be addressed finally. This has to be addressed because I'm sick of it. I'm just so sick and tired of it. But this is the last I'm ever going to talk about it unless it hits a boiling point to where I just can't control it anymore. And that's when, honestly, I think the legal option will be taken. A legal option that I've considered heavily. I appreciate all the messages of support through Instagram, Twitter, and things such as that. People see it. And what aggravates me even more is that people want it to occur. They want the drama. They want the feud. They want the online beef. That's what they live for. It just goes to tell me that you've got nothing going on in your life. If you're wanting to see two people fight on the public forum that were once married just for your entertainment value, well, I'm not going to do that. It won't go to that level. I'm not giving you the satisfaction. It's pathetic. Now, I am no victim. Yes, I've done things wrong in the past. I will openly admit it. I have never claimed to be a perfect human being. Never will. I admit my hypocrisy. I admit all those things. I admit my humanity. So when you try and leverage these things over me as if I should be living in a glass house just because I do a political podcast, you got another thing coming. I'm not a politician. I like sticking my dick in people's asses and women's asses. I should really have clarified that.
I'm nervous.
I love anal. I love all that shit. It's kinky as fuck. Drives me wild. Don't fucking care if people know that or not. I'm a man. That's the way it is. So you trying to use that to fucking kink shame me, good luck. I mean, good luck. Have you seen half the shit I post? People want transparency. They want you to be clear. And I am that to an extent. There's certain things I won't discuss. There are certain key factors of my life that I will keep private. It's come to the point now where even if I'm dating a woman, I can't tag her because she will receive numerous troll account messages that are spawned by my ex in an attempt to destroy my life, my current relationship, or any other relationships I've had, be they friends or business. Numerous times this has happened, and I have just kept my mouth shut on it. And I feel it's finally come to the point where I got to say, look, this is what's happening. And I really wish it would stop because it's not me engaging this. It's not me trying to provoke this. I'm just trying to leave it alone and move on and live my fucking life. Life's too short. There's so much to be happy for. I mean, given that we do a political podcast that's usually rooted in negativity half the time, but still, the point is when you turn the podcast off and you move on, life is definitely worth living. Especially with us. We have a successful business. We're doing amazing things to help people. But others in their life instead want to focus on petty drama and things such as that. And it serves no purpose. I myself am guilty of this many times to where I have to catch myself saying, why are you engaging this? Why are you getting involved in this? This isn't your fight. This isn't your beef. You're just going to cause yourself unnecessary drama. It's kind of funny how we learn these things as we get older. So, to the fan that messaged my partner, whom I rarely ever tag just for that reason alone, I know who you are. I mean, I know who sent you. I see who you follow, and I see who follows you back. I'm not stupid. So, thank you for listening. I'm sure Josh will get a message after this. I'm sure other employees will get a message after this. So, have at it. You're not going to stop us. All right, moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening in to me spill my guts over that. But unfortunately, it's come, like I said, it's hit a boiling point to where I'm so fucking over it. But all right, how are you?
Okay, all right.
How are you? Oh, my Jesus. Okay, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you all for tuning in today and for sharing the podcast. We are live. We are close to hitting 100,000 listens just in this month alone on our podcast. I have never seen numbers grow like this. Even when we first did this, I want to say like 2 years ago, we didn't have these kinds of numbers. And I'm not fudging these numbers. These numbers are on our SoundCloud account. We're looking at insights. Like to hit 100,000 plays in a month of us having started this, like what, this month? Or was it last month? It was August. Yeah. It was August, yeah. So we've been doing this for about a month and some change. And the numbers are incredible. It's amazing. And I can't thank you all enough for that. And we're going to try and figure out new ways to keep you entertained, to keep you informed, but ultimately to make you aware of the fact that this is an opinion podcast. This is not a news podcast. I am not Ben Shapiro. I am not Crowder. I'm not the rest of them. I'm just a dude with an opinion. That's all this is. I'm not a medical professional. When I weigh in my opinions, when I say this is how I view something, this is what I believe, this is what I respect and don't respect, these are my views. These aren't even Josh's views. Josh has his views. I have mine. There are some things we don't agree upon, and you have every right to be wrong. I mean, you 100% do. I support that. I support that. So, but no, I just wanted to say thank you for making this podcast an amazing success. Thank you for making Shell Shock an insane success. I sincerely appreciate it. We've launched new gummies on the page now. We have the 60, or is it 40? 40 count? This is where Josh takes over.
There's a
These are the Halo gummies?
Our new CBD gummies, our 25 milligram watermelon and pineapple gummies.
We went from
These
15
I've been talking about.
to 25, yeah.
Right. So we've been waiting to get all this stuff together, like all of our labels and all that information, and to be able to put all this stuff together. So we're finally launching it, and I'm super excited about it because I love these gummies. I took like 4 of them and just felt wonderful. I mean,
they'll calm you down.
It mellows you out.
For those that
so
don't know,
much.
the CBD gummies will not get you high. They are for stress and anxiety. They will relax you. You will not fail a drug test. There is no THC.
I didn't feel high, but I definitely felt
calm,
like
relaxed
and just
That's
you kind of
for.
go into that deep thought where, like, okay, you can relax and kind of just let the stress of the world melt away. It's really, really
Fuck,
nice.
I need some now, to tell you the truth. Jesus Christ.
I'm telling you.
I probably should take some.
I love these gummies. And our gummies are different from everybody else's gummies because they're
infused. They're not sprayed.
They're infused, and then they're made with the only mold here in the United States that can make each gummy the exact same. So each gummy, you're going to get the same amount of everything in each gummy. So that's why our gummies are so much better than everybody else's.
Amazing. Yep.
I'll say it. There.
You
pulled it out of me, John.
We've had, oh man. I appreciate what you set me up for. That I'm going to leave that one alone, but we'll get some messages over that. The gummies are a huge hit. We have the Rack Out gummies that are THC free. It's melatonin and CBD. We even have sample packs for you. If you're not sure about trying it, you don't want to drop $40 on it, drop $5 and see if it works for you. There's like 2 or 3 gummies in each pack. You can see for yourself. We've had amazing reviews.
We dropped the prices on the old Fallout gummies that we're not going to carry anymore. They're 15 milligrams. And
real quick, before I forget, now I'm trying to help Sarah out. Like our Sarah and our customer support, all the crew works insanely hard. They make this job easy for me, thank God. But if you are a subscriber, if you subscribe to receive your monthly gummies, you are automatically going to be sent the new flavors in the upgraded CBD content amount. So if you're subscribed to the Fallout gummies for 15 milligrams, you're getting the 25 milligrams at no extra charge, but there will be a flavor replacement. Now, if you do not want that, you're going to have to contact us and we will cancel your subscription. I hope you don't do that. But I think the new flavors are watermelon and pineapple.
Yeah.
And that's it. We have more coming.
And these flavors are so good.
Mm-hmm. Well, the watermelon gummies we had in 15 milligrams, and we had those things fucking flew.
Yeah.
But we were only charging $15 for a bag because we wanted people to try them.
Yeah.
So, but man, we really appreciate that. And
then coming up on these new flavors, it's going to be, I don't know.
Let's not give it away.
Okay.
Yeah, we have some other things. We got some new broad spectrum flavors coming out.
Yeah.
We've got some. Maybe we might even have some John Ross stuff coming out. I don't
Possibly.
know. Possibly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it started. This day in history, September 30th, end of the month. USS Nautilus, world's first nuclear submarine, is commissioned. The Nautilus was constructed under the direction of the U.S. Navy Captain Hyman G. Rickover, a brilliant Russian-born engineer who joined the U.S. atomic program in 1946. In 1947, he was put in charge of the Navy's nuclear propulsion program and began work on an atomic submarine. Regarded as a fanatic by his detractors, Rickover succeeded in developing and delivering the world's first nuclear submarine years ahead of schedule. In 1952, the Nautilus's keel was laid by President Harry S. Truman on January 21st. 1954, First Lady Mamie Eisenhower broke a bottle of champagne across its bow as it was launched into the Thames River at Groton, Connecticut. Commissioned in September 30th of 1954, it first ran under nuclear power on the morning of January 17th, 1955. Much larger than the diesel-electric submarines that preceded it, the Nautilus stretched 319 feet and displaced 3,180 tons. It could remain submerged for almost unlimited periods because its atomic engine needed no air and only a very small quantity of nuclear fuel. The uranium-powered nuclear reactor produced steam that drove propulsion engines, allowing the Nautilus to travel underwater at speeds in excess of 20 knots. Once again, reiterating, I was a grunt and I have no fucking clue how fast that is. The speed is 3 knots. What is that in miles per hour? I have no idea. In the early years of service, the USS Nautilus broke numerous submarine travel records and in August of 1958 accomplished the first voyage under the geographic North Pole. Wait, what? This thing went under the North Pole?
Really?
After a career spanning 25 years and almost 500,000 miles steam, the Nautilus was decommissioned March 30th, 1980. Designated a National Historic Landmark in 1982, the world's first nuclear submarine went on exhibit in 1986 as the historic ship Nautilus at the Submarine Force Museum in Groton, Connecticut. That is impressive. They went under the North Pole? That, I would imagine that ice is so thick you can't surface. So if shit goes haywire, you're fucked.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wonder how far it is.
I have no idea.
Interesting.
Unless I read that wrong. I don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Let's get into the politics. Roll up your sleeves. Grab your poop chutes. I have no idea what that even means, but we're just going to go with it. Miley admits telling Chinese counterpart he'd probably call him if an attack was coming. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Now, for those that aren't aware, maybe you're just tuning in and seeing this story for the first time, Secretary of Defense Miles Austin and Joint Chairman Chiefs of Staff General Miley and the other douchebag basically testified before Congress. They were grilled over the extraction or the withdrawal of Afghanistan. And layman's term, Cliff Notes version, Miley and Austin are blaming Biden, saying they did advise him to keep a 2,500 troop presence. Biden ignored it. Biden says they didn't tell him that. And the whole disaster is falling on nobody's shoulders because Biden doesn't want to take responsibility and the military leadership does not want to take responsibility either. Ultimately, I think it's up to Biden because Biden made the call. Biden didn't listen to his advisors. Now, the other thing that Josh and I discussed yesterday after the show was that when you have Senators Tom Cotton and the rest of them calling for Miley and Austin to resign, I think they should resign for different reasons. Now, for the reasons they're going after him for the failed Afghanistan withdrawal, I can't blame Miley and Austin for that. I don't like them. I think they're pieces of shit. I honestly, and I'm not saying this to propaganda anything, I honestly feel like the Secretary of Defense, Austin, is a black supremacist. He hides it very well. I think Miley is a self-hating white liberal. I think he hides it not so well when he's wanting to understand white rage. For those reasons alone, when you have a 60-day stand down when Miley first took office and to hunt out extremism within the ranks ultimately was a witch hunt for Republicans that voted for Trump, that's a clear indicator that you are trying to purge the ranks of anyone that does not agree with President Biden's policies or that President Biden is the president. Out of roughly a force in the army of over 500,000, they found like 70 people with ties to radical extremism. 70 people. Or maybe it wasn't even that many. It was not a lot. It was tiny. So this big witch hunt, this big thing that they put on this big theatrics about and essentially made all the troops feel really weird was for nothing. 70 people. I wonder how many freaking racists that are non-white in the military that you could find. I'm sure you can find a lot. It's not that hard. It's not even hidden very well. Because if you're white in the military, good luck. If you're a minority, you can get away with murder. Okay, so with that being said, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Army General Mark Miley, admitted Wednesday, or I'm sorry, let me finish the thing. So they testified, it was Tuesday, and their testimony caused so much controversy that essentially the world now knows that there is a disconnect between Biden and his staff, that they brought him back for a second day of grilling, which was yesterday. So this is what was said yesterday. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Miley, admitted Wednesday during a hearing that he told his Chinese counterpart he would give him a call if the United States were about to attack. That's treason. That is treason. If Miley admitted that, which he did, that's treason. To sit there and tell another country. Now, some people are going to get into the nitty-gritty on that, saying, well, we're not technically at war with them, therefore it could not be considered treasonous. In my mind, I'm not a JAG lawyer, but when you have your chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, top military advisor to the President Trump at the time, clearly saying that if we were going to attack China, I would probably give them a call and give them a heads up. What else does that leave as far as what you are? That's treasonous to me. That's treason. You would dime out your own country simply for your hate of your president?
Especially when, so he's taking on the position of, I was doing it for the good of the country.
Yeah, bullshit.
And then here in Afghanistan, he's super hands off and just kind of gave his opinion.
Well, that, like you said before, though, like he wouldn't even give he wasn't going to go public with his personal advisement to the president. It's like, well, what is your personal advisement? Why does your personal advisement conflict with your public advice? Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
This is just another, I don't know, way to be like, oh, yeah, these guys are just full of shit.
They are. Representative Vicky Hartlitz grilled Miley during the House Armed Services Committee hearing on whether allegations in Bob Woodward or Robert Costa's book were true that Miley had told his Chinese counterpart that he would notify him if the U.S. were about to attack ahead of the 2020 presidential election. Okay, now let's look at this from a realistic common sense standpoint. This is how much the insanity ran rampant in these federal organizations that your own chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff thought that you were so mentally unstable that you might attack China prior to the 2020 election. What sense does that make? To attack China right before the election. What sense does that make? What would even put that thought in your head? What indicators did he have to formulate that opinion? That's what I want to know. And maybe he gets into I don't know. According to the book, Miley told General Z. Zochin, whom he had known for 5 years, during a top-secret back-channel phone call on October 3rd. I would love to see the transcripts of that phone call.
I would hear my conspiracy theory.
Go for it.
It's China had a bunch of fake ballots, pumped them into the system. Trump knew about it, and they figured
if he found out, he'd attack.
Yeah. That's just my conspiracy theory.
No, because if the same thing were true, then he would have attacked Russia. For conspiracy. Actually, no, I'm sorry. No, let me take that back. They accused Trump of meddling in the election, or Russia meddling in Trump's election during 2020.
That's already been proven false.
And Russell, and like you even showed me the clip, like Russell Brand, the comedian, came out and he did a bit that's gone viral on that, basically talking about like, there were lies told about Trump.
Yeah, absolutely. The 100% that was totally made up and bought by the Clinton. I mean, it's not even debatable.
The Clintons
at this point,
are fucking toxic. They're cancerous humans.
So Sussman he's been indicted. So, and then the other thing is just the what's that? Alpha Bank. They were saying it was ping with Trump Tower, saying that there was communication.
They were linked and stuff. Yeah,
but it wasn't even coming from Trump Tower. So I mean, the whole thing is
sketchy.
It's a big setup.
Yeah, that makes me wonder. It's like, do we earnestly have military personnel on China's payroll? Because I don't want to turn into one of those things like, oh, it's only a distraction. It's only a distraction. Or like you turn to like one of those QAnon deep like conspiracy theorists. But I feel like a lot of these conspiracy theories do have some margin of truth to them that they should be looked into.
I mean,
people
what
ask
is a
me,
conspiracy? People conspired to build your house. All right.
Well, I mean, I think
got together.
I think it's when it's so outlandish.
They conspired, and then they
yeah.
plotted, and then they built your house.
Yeah, but you're talking about a conspiracy, like conspiring. Well, conspiring has a different term, in my opinion, to where like you're conspiring with something negative. You're conspiring to do something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Conspiracy only has one meaning.
Yeah, true.
Like if you go to the dictionary, a paper dictionary, then
why can't it be a hardback dictionary? No, I think that there's been so much conspiracy theory push from the QAnon movement that it's turned people's, and this is why I think QAnon did so much damage, because there are theories out there that do have some weight that should be looked into.
Yeah.
But the QAnon thing brought out so much conspiracy theorism, like rooted in just straight up political prophecy and propaganda, that people like me is like, I don't believe anything you have to say anymore. Like you guys like cried wolf so fucking much that nobody, and that's why people's like, well, what damage did it really do? It's like it turned a lot of people off to looking at actual issues that should, like Miley. I honestly wonder if Miley is on China's payrolls, because if you know this dude for 5 years, you say, hey,
it would surprise me. It's obvious that Joe Biden is, according to Hunter Biden's laptop.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously ties there.
Yeah.
He was obviously doing business, selling access to his dad. And it's in his email.
Yep. Oh, where'd that laptop go?
I don't know.
Right
but
now.
Apparently the Russian mafia has one of them. He's got several laptops going.
I just,
and then this guy does the interview
on
what, on ABC, talking about his lap. It's the most ridiculous thing. Like, who believes these people?
Nobody.
Somebody has to believe them. I mean, we're like,
I saw in Tucker Carlson this morning, I don't know if this is true, but the new bill they're trying to pass is Biden basically trying to bankrupt private businesses that won't adhere to vaccination policies by saying, like he said, it was on page 163 of this new bill, that if an employee is unvaccinated that works at your business, you could be fined up to like $700,000.
It's crazy.
Like, this is nuts. Like
the whole thing is crazy.
If this goes like, I'm.
They're creating such crisis around the country in multiple ways at the same time. It's crazy what's going on right now, because there's the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill is free.
This is the biggest bill in our history.
And then they're just going to pass the costs on to big business, the wealthy. So if you're passing the cost off to big business, they're going to raise their prices.
Yep.
Who's going to pay for it?
And Jen Psaki comes out there and says it's a shame.
Who's going to pay?
It's unfair
for
if businesses do that. It's like,
so the gas prices go up. Is the oil company, are they making up that difference? No, we're paying for it at the pump.
The consumers are. That's basic inflation. Yeah.
That's exactly what's going on. So anybody that believes that it's $0
is an idiot.
Yeah.
They don't know basic
You're a
economics.
complete moron.
Well, Jen Psaki comes out there, and I think she gives a very good perspective that they have, that they can raise the taxes and that businesses therefore should not raise price of goods. It's like it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
The free market mirrors what you do. Like, in a sense, and I hate saying this, but they almost have a lot of control over the free market. So when you up the taxes, businesses are not going to cut their margins.
No.
They won't. Not just to give the government more money. Ultimately, and that's what people don't realize, like Democrats support this kind of bullshit spending. It's like you don't realize, like, you're paying for this. All of us are paying for this. This idea that you want to give them more money to use to help these other subsidy programs, to just all these good idea fairies they have. Yeah. It's ultimately every single one of us that's going to have to pay for this, and we don't want to.
Like, you had Obama out there talking about it.
Even Obama.
Did you hear him talking about it?
No, not that. I know. I heard him talk about
his most recent interview that he did, talking about. Well, it comes with a $3.5 trillion price tag, but we're going to pass it along to the wealthier Americans who are already paying 40%. So that the top 1% are already paying 40%.
Let's break this down even further. Those top 40%, the top business owners,
the top
that get
1%.
Well, yeah, I'm just talking about, like, in general. If this bill passes and they go after they're not top 40, I'm sorry, the top tier people, the rich that make over $400,000 a year, those are also the majority of the business owners. So what are those business owners going to do in turn? Like I said, they're not going to cut their margins. They're not going to cut profit. They're going to raise prices.
Yeah.
You're going to see prices get raised across the board. They already did a press briefing talking about meat, poultry, and I think it was something else. I forget what it was. The prices have double digits, upwards of that, but what it was before. And so it's like you have no one to blame. Like, when you want to talk about raising these taxes, this creates inflation. You know, it's government-driven inflation. And then the other thing is, like, now you add this on top of, like, resource inflation, like we saw with the ammunition crisis. Like, there was a lot of natural resources we couldn't get. Prices went up through the fucking roof. When Biden got elected, gun sales, like, fucking really increased because they were afraid of, like, him going after the Second Amendment. Therefore, prices now increase. Yet inflation in the gun market, massive inflation in the ammunition market. And it's going to trickle down to other areas that are eventually going to impact you directly. So maybe you don't like guns, maybe you're not into ammunition, you don't need that stuff. It will hit. It's already hitting you with the gas pumps.
Yeah.
It's already hitting you with the grocery
Like,
store, and it's going to
immediately
get
at the gas
worse.
pump.
Oh yeah. As soon as that's how the free market works.
As soon as the election
yep.
was over, they're like the gas prices went back up. You want to know why? Because these douchebags are getting paid on the back end. That's the only logical explanation behind any of this stuff is that these guys are making money on the back end of these things. They don't care.
I think they're definitely getting kickbacks on this. To where it's like, you had like Dick Cheney and them, like it was in bed with fucking Halliburton and the rest of them. It's like, you connect these dots and it's like, Jesus Christ.
They're all making money off of it. How many billions of dollars do you think these government officials will make on the back end?
They're set for life. These political leaders are so
crazy.
fucking corrupt. And meanwhile, it's turning into, and I hate to say this, it's turning into the socialist mindset of eat the rich. Now it shouldn't be the rich, it's like eat the politically powerful that are literally getting rich off the backs of every single person they're supposed to represent. But they're not. They're looking out and they're lining their own pockets. They're doing all this stuff. Meanwhile, the rest of us are going to financially suffer. Like even as a business, say for example, like our basic tincture of CBD runs us like $45. Like if they increase our taxes, like I don't know what we're going to do. Like I don't know, like we have to have a
roll with the
conversation.
budget. I mean, really, it starts with everybody voting locally, voting in your local elections, and taking over there.
Congress is very important.
Yeah.
I think people don't realize that the 2020 midterms coming up, they're around the corner, are crucial.
Yeah.
Like if you want to see this change, if you want to see this stop, then you've got to get out there and you've got to vote. And people automatically counter with, well, I have no faith in the election system. It's like, look, I understand, I get it. I understand where you're coming from, but you can't give up.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they want. You cannot give up. Texas has enacted stricter voter registration, ID, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do not give up. Like that's what Democrats want. They know Republicans are feeling defeated right now. They love the fact that we feel like the system is rigged. Therefore, we're not going to go vote. Then they're just going to secure all wins across the board. You cannot give them that.
Luckily, you have a couple Democrats, like the bisexual senator from Arizona, Kristen Sinema.
The reason that he's saying bisexual is that was how it was written in the article. It's like, what the fuck does that have to do with that? He's like, bisexual senator. Like,
she was the first openly bisexual senator.
But like, what does it matter?
It doesn't to me, but since
I know not to you. It's just like the press loves running with shit like this. Like the first openly bisexual. Like, does that have any bearing on how she votes? I mean, I guess it does to an extent, in regards to like LGBT issues and shit like that. But Jesus Christ,
I don't know.
Does it really matter with that?
But even her, she's against it. And I think one other guy.
Well, even in the House, like the House and the House is split 50-50 with Kamala being the deciding voice. If we're going to get to the article because you're onto something here. Like there's a lot of Democrats that are not, I shouldn't say a lot, there are some Democrats that are against this reconciliation bill that if they don't have a unanimous front, it's not going to make it.
It's such a stupid name.
I don't get
how do they name these things?
We're back, America. America's back. Boom.
The $3.5 trillion bill.
It's nuts. This is the biggest bill in American history.
It's insane. Yeah. Just listening to Obama run his mouth is just like,
fuck that dude.
Jesus, man. Are we ever going to be rid of this guy? Or I'm pretty sure he's the Antichrist. It's my opinion.
I know. I think if you're gonna pin that label on it, it's got to be Clinton's. It's got to be Clinton's. Oh yes.
I don't know.
I think Clinton's are 10 times. I think Obama's a piece of shit, but I think Clinton's are 10 times. But Obama's just good at keeping his shit private.
Nobody likes the Clintons.
No, fuck no.
Nobody likes
even
them.
Democrats don't like them.
Even the Democrats don't like them. They know if you say anything bad about them,
you're dead.
You're probably going to kill yourself at some point in time. But Obama, he's well spoken.
Yeah, he's black. People love that. A lot of people said that's why I voted for him. We need our first black.
He's got
president.
A good personality.
He does.
But he's got terrible ideas.
He sounds like this all the time.
And he talks like this.
Every single time. Yeah. We're going to ensure this, this never happens again. If you like your doctor, you can keep him. Miley admitted to Senator Marsha Blackburn, representative of Tuesday, on Tuesday that he spoke to Woodward for the book as well as the journalists for their books to make sure things were accurate. Hartsley and Miley had really told his Chinese counterpart that he would be notified. Miley responded. So this is a longer conversation. It's a VTC video telephone conference or teleconference with General Lee, and there's a body of intelligence that leads up to this that was persuasive to Secretary Esper, myself, and many, many others that the Chinese thought wrongly that the United States is going to attack them. I am certain, guaranteed certain, that President Trump had no intent to attack, and it was my task to make sure I communicated that. You can do that without compromising the integrity you have for your country. Like if you tell another country that, like, hey, I'll give you a heads up, what does that tell them about you as a military official and leader? Like, you can still maintain that, look, you're just going to have to trust me. You have no other choice. But when you sit there and you compromise that and you say, oh, I'll give you a heads up if we do, like, I'd be like, if I was a Chinese, like, that guy's fucking lying. That guy's a fucking liar. Why the hell else would he ever say either that or he's wanting to defect, which I don't think Miley would. I think no, not gonna happen. But I don't understand his thought process on this. If Josh was a neighboring country that I wouldn't say we're economically at war with China. I mean, we're economically. We're in competition.
There's a lot of
there's a
intellectual theft.
Yeah, I think there's a difference in war. People say we're at war. No, we're in a competition. Like, don't get me wrong. I think we are not cool with China in that aspect. I mean, we trade. They're one of our biggest traders, if not our biggest debt collector. We owe them so much fucking money. But it doesn't make sense to me if you were a neighboring country that I knew we were at economic odds with. If I was to tell you, hey, if we attack, I would tell you first. I wouldn't trust you because you would turn on your own country. Why would I trust you? If you're a traitor, you're a traitor. It doesn't matter.
Or maybe you got blackmail on me.
Traitor to America, you'd be traitor to China.
Maybe you got a hold of my laptop and there's some sensitive information in there. And
we are the Russian mob. We have the Hunter laptop. He apparently likes crackhead foot jobs and smoking the crack.
Turns out he likes to be peed on. That
He's
whole
the
thing
one that actually likes the pee-pees on the face.
He likes that. The golden shower.
Oh, my God. As part of that conversation, I said, General Lee, there's not going to be a war. There is not going to be No, why would China feel that way, though? Why would China feel like Trump might attack them? That's the other question. Why would China
You're my
feel
theory.
That? I don't...
I
mean, there's other possibilities there, realistically.
I think there's probably some evidence that China interfered in our election.
Why would a Chinese
know
general feel like out of nowhere they're worried that Trump might attack?
Yeah.
You don't just think that out of nowhere. Somebody's got to plant that seed.
Yeah.
Or you think the Biden administration had anything to do with that? Think about it.
I don't know.
Think about it. Plant the seeds of doubt and discord. It could have been a setup. It could have been somebody through back channels feeding China misinformation to make Trump look bad. And as a result, this comes to fruition.
I don't know. I feel like the simplest answer is probably the right answer. It doesn't have to be like super cloak and dagger.
No, I think it was. No, I think about it. Like, if you're wanting to keep something like that top secret, it's not going to be the simplest. They are going to do cloak and dagger.
You think so?
Look at the Russian collusion hoax that was instigated by the Clintons and stuff like that. Then the Steele dossier, all of that
had been disproven almost immediately. Okay, so what happened? It was gaslit through the media. Okay, so you have CNN, MSNBC, all these outlets pushing out these lies and perpetuating it, even though they knew the FISA warrant was bullshit. And then, I mean, that goes into General Flynn stuff too.
Yeah,
I mean, it really spreads out across the country there with what they were doing, as far as setting people up and running these.
This government is terrible. So fucking horrible.
So they started I mean, I feel like they thought they were going to win that election.
I think so too. Yeah,
and there was probably some level of cheating going on.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought Clinton had that election too. I didn't. I thought there was no way, and Trump was going to pull it off.
I thought
there was no way.
I knew that if Trump was going to win, he was going to have a massive turnout.
And he did.
And that's exactly what happened. Because
and that's another thing that
there's people
sense.
that came out who had never voted before because nobody wanted Hillary Clinton in the White House. And I think they did some level of tampering.
But take this into account though as well. Do you think more people like Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton?
I think I don't know, probably Joe Biden because he was Barack Obama's vice president. Other than that, who knew of Joe Biden other than he wasn't really the face of the Democratic Party, was he?
It just doesn't make sense to me how Hillary lost to Trump. Trump got people voting that never voted before. He got a lot of people out to the polls. The only thing I could think about is just like if Biden was not as popular as Hillary and Biden secured more votes than any other president in history, or like he was the most popular president, that doesn't make sense to me. I think Hillary was way more popular than Biden. I think Hillary
maybe she was.
I think she was. Hillary was
just at least with the female vote.
Oh, 100%. That and the LGBT, all of them. She had all that stuff. That's why I thought Trump didn't have a chance. Oh, she did. Hillary has been a staunch advocate of the LGBT.
Has she?
Yes, she actually
because she was against gay marriage.
Was, yeah, but she flipped. They all flipped, dude. They all flipped.
I mean,
that's how
it's
politicians
all about power.
Yeah, 100%. It's all about getting the votes. But I think Hillary has just been one of those people, like, if you think about it, like, how many votes did Hillary get in that election? Let me look that up.
I think Trump had 68 million. So
was it 68 million?
I think it was somewhere around there.
I'll have to look this after, though. It just doesn't, something just doesn't add up. Anyway.
Because Trump because he went up like 11 million votes. I think that's what it was. So 64 million maybe?
Somebody in chat says, I think we'd be worse off with Hillary than Biden. I don't think so. I really don't think. I hate Hillary. I think she's a piece of shit. I don't think she'd be worse than Biden. I think Biden is probably the worst that we can get. Like, you bumble an Afghanistan withdrawal.
She's there. She's got it mentally upstairs.
Oh, yeah, she does, yeah.
Biden's completely...
He's out of it. Well,
it's
it's not him making the calls either.
No.
Somebody else got to be. He's a shadow president.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton would 100% be fully in charge, and there wouldn't be anybody pulling her strings.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she is the Antichrist.
I don't know. There is not going to be an attack between great powers, and if there was, the tensions would build up. There'd be calls going back and forth from all kinds of senior officials. I said, hey, General Lee, I'll probably give you a call, but we're not going to attack you. Trust me, we're not going to attack you. These are two great powers, and I'm doing my best to transmit the president's intent, President Trump's intent to ensure that the American people are protected from an incident that could escalate. Hartlitz told Miley, I understand your intent, but I think you're articulating that you would tell him that you would give him a call, I think is worthy of your resignation. I just think that's against our country and that you would give our number one adversary that information and tell him, and I think she's 100% right. I think she's 100% right. I can understand where Miley's trying to use this and use the perception of, I was just trying to make sure that they don't go up in arms because they're getting misinformation about us wanting to attack. Well, my other question, like I said before, like, who's giving them that information? Why is that not being looked into? Where are they getting this information from? Why is China feeling this way? And of course, the Biden administration won't look into that because I think it was them planting those seeds realistically. I think they were trying to turn Trump's own people against him. And that's why Trump fired so many people, because they had them turn like fucking General, oh God. What's his name? The famous Marine Corps general that everybody loved, and then he turned to a complete douche canoe. Mattis. Then General Mattis turned on him. He turned out to be an ultra fucking globalist liberal. And that was like one of the biggest, just what? Like, you were the chosen one. Like, what happened to you? He became a politician in uniform. Like, he was, yeah. Biden condemnation makes fair investigation into Border Patrol agents impossible, allies say. Didn't they say the same thing about Trump when he weighed in on certain things that were being investigated? And they said, well, if Trump weighs in, then it's no longer going to be a fair and unbiased investigation. Didn't they, like, go after him for that?
Yeah.
What was that in reference to? What was the investigation he weighed in on? Was it the Russian collusion? No, it was something else. Do y'all remember this? I remember this. They basically accused Trump of saying it was the, They said that being he publicly spoke about it, it could sway the outcome of the investigation. Maybe it was something to do with the FBI. The FBI was weaponized against him. I
don't know. He had talked about calling somebody down in Georgia about the election.
No, it wasn't about the election. It was way before that. This is a year or two before the election. There was an investigation that was going on, and was it the Mueller investigation? Maybe it was the Mueller investigation. But the fact that Trump spoke on it, they accused him of influencing the outcome of the thing. So that holds true then by Democrat logic that Biden's character assassination of the Border Patrol agents is not going to make an investigation fair or unbiased. It's like the government investigating the government. It's like, oh, we found that we did nothing wrong. Like, you don't say.
I don't know.
A fair investigation of the actions that mounted Border Patrol agents in Del Rio, Texas, took to prevent Haitian migrants from illegally entering the United States earlier this month is not possible, allies and advocates for the agents say. The agency opened an investigation into the agents after images of them pursuing migrants. I like how they said pursuing migrants on horseback led to mistaken speculation that they whipped the border crossers. President Joe Biden and members of the administration condemned the agents. It's almost like we saw the same kind of knee-jerk reaction under the Obama administration with that one cop that Obama assassinated his character and then, apologized by bringing him to the White House and having a beer with him. If my had a son, he would be like Trayvon Martin. Oh, so you'd have a gangbanger piece of shit? Is that what you're saying? Get the fuck out of here. It's ridiculous. It's going to be very difficult, said Chad Wolf, who preceded Alejandro Mayorkas as an acting secretary for the Department of Homeland Security. And then another article came out about Mayorkas saying, like, I am appalled that there's a Delta outbreak variant at the border. This is so weird to me. Oh, it's like, are you fucking serious? Like, Jen Psaki even said, like, no, they're not required to. Next question. It's like, and then you turn around, it's like, well, if there's a Delta outbreak down there, what did you really expect? Like, if that's even true, I don't know. But Mayorkas sitting there pearl clutching going, I had no idea. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Don't fucking lie and play stupid about this. Don't bury your head in the sand. Customs and Border Patrol Office, per professional responsibility, would do a professional job, but those are people just like you and me, and they're influenced by what their superiors say and do, and that is 100% accurate. It's the same in the military. It is the same in the military. Like, that's ridiculous to me. And you're going to love this. You're going to love this. I don't even know if you've seen this article yet. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because here it comes. Panama warns of looming Haitian migrant wave of tens of thousands are on their way.
85,000?
85,000 Haitian migrants are on their way to America. Now Biden has got a sincere border crisis on his hands. If you thought it was bad with 14,000, it's about to get 10 times fucking worse. The only way this is going to stop, clearly the Biden administration has failed. They cannot fix this. Abbott needs to act now. You need to act now. Deploy the National Guard. Civilians down there should grab guns and go patrol that fucking border. This is pathetic. Like you said yesterday, this is why we pay taxes.
Yeah.
The tax money that we're paying our employer to do his job, he's not. It's like you pay your landlord to make something happen and they don't. Then why the fuck are we paying taxes? Go down there with whips. Go down there with whips. Give the Biden administration what they want. Give them what they want.
Yep.
It's nuts.
I don't know.
According to Panama Foreign Minister Enrique Millones, recent rush of Haitian migrants is only the beginning. And here's the other thing that people don't realize. You know why the Haitians are there? Because they migrated over and they were trying to get everything they could from that country. They cut them off. Now they're pushing to America. Nearly 30,000 Haitian immigrants have already made their way over the U.S.-Mexico border in recent weeks, but Panama's foreign minister says far more are on their way, and she's been sounding the alarm for months. In an interview with Axios, Foreign Minister Erica Mayotte said that since the beginning of 2021, more than 85,000 Haitians have crossed through Panama, and that she believes they are all heading towards the U.S. 85,000. That's nuts to me. We've engaged with every single authority we can think of that we can come across to say, please, let's pay attention to this, Mayones told the outlet. The Haitians have been coming from Colombia, traveling through dangerous Darien, Gap jungles into Panama before making their way northward through the Central America and Mexico to the U.S., Mayones said senior officials from South American countries, Mexico, Canada, Mexico, Canada, and the U.S. met in August to address this issue, and she thought it was shocking that this had not happened sooner. Mayotte said she also met with members of Congress and DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas earlier this week. So they knew. They've known. Mm-hmm. But they didn't say anything. Why would they? Weird. Holy shit. Fox News reached out to the Department of Homeland Security for comment, but it did not immediately respond. Mayotte told Axios she wants to see additional meetings between the U.S. and other countries in which they can work out plans to better control the volume of people coming through their respective borders. She said Haiti needs to be involved as well in order to... they're not getting involved. Why are they going to get involved?
I know. Their leader was assassinated.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We all have a role to play in this issue, and the regional approach is the correct approach, she said. It is impossible for Panama to solve it on its own. And once again, it falls on America's interests. In addition to the 85,000 that have already made their way to Panama and beyond, Mayotte said another 30,000 are waiting in Colombia while Panama is unable to take them. These are world travelers looking for a home. Meanwhile, you've got immigrants doing it the right way, going through the vetting system, but these Haitians, people are like, well, they just want some shade, they just want, amnesty, they want sanctuary. There comes a time and place where it's kind of like, okay, why are you seeking asylum from your country? What's the reasoning for it? Is it economic asylum? Because if that's the case, fuck no. Turn around and go back and fix it. If it's war stuff like Afghanistan, that I can kind of understand. I can understand that to an extent. Yeah,
I don't care. Just do it the legal way.
Yeah, do it the right way so we can ensure that we're not getting fucking criminals.
Coming across the border, unvetted, where we don't know who these people are. If the same people are saying red flag laws or gun laws, if it could save one life, then it's worth it. Then you should be the loudest voice saying,
of course,
if we stop these people from coming over, because if one of them comes over and they murder somebody, is that life not worth saving to shut down that entire border
not in their life or not in their mindset.
To vet everybody that comes across?
No.
And not just that, but what drugs are coming across?
Yep.
What opioids are that people are addicted to?
Republicans say Biden's $3.5 trillion spending bill will spur cultural decline and sap the work ethic. Critics say Biden's social spending programs will effectively create a welfare state. And I 100% agree on this. I 100% agree. Even Milton Friedman talked about this. Anytime the government tries to throw money at a program to reduce the poverty level, you have to look at that program for the outcome it creates, not the intent. Not the intent. The outcome that has been created, especially in the minority communities, is more people on government welfare programs, because essentially they keep you addicted to them, that money, and therefore you're going to vote in favor of what is feeding you versus going out there and being forced to get a job or you starve. As Democrats forge ahead with the unilateral negotiations on President Biden's $3.5 trillion spending package, Republicans and at least one Democrat moderate caution the expansive slate of social programs, including in the bill, could have lasting negative consequences for American workers. 100%. Taxes are going up.
Yep.
This is going to go into the subsidy programs, the welfare programs. It's going to continuously be abused and manipulated, and ultimately the middle class is going to suffer the most.
Yeah. You know, we could have saved billions and billions of dollars if they would have just built a border wall 20 years ago, because we spend upwards close to $100 billion a year
when we
just
first,
on illegal aliens crossing over into the country.
Remember when we first did the podcast back in the old studio, and we actually broke it down because we said we spend roughly $60,000 to $90,000 annually on each illegal immigrant that is locked up and incarcerated, not counting the deportation process of paying for food, clothing, and flights and transportation, whatever it may be, flights or ground vehicle, whatever that's a lot of money. 90,000. We'll just say 80,000 to be more fiscally conservative. 80,000 per illegal that is locked up and caught annually. You know how much money that is? It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and then you send them back, and they come right back.
It's close to $100 billion. I mean,
somebody cooked something and it smells amazing in here. By the way,
I know it's bacon.
Oh, it smells so fucking good.
My mouth is gonna start watering. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Oh my God. I haven't seen this video yet. AOC's teary Iron Dome meltdown dampens her chances against Schumer. New York has a significant number of Jewish voters, and most are Democrats. How could you be a Jew and vote Democrat? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Democrats hate you. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has diminished the chance of a successful primary run against New York Democratic Chuck Schumer after she was filmed crying on the House floor following a vote to give another $1 billion to Israel to restore its Iron Dome missile interception system. Okay, why? Why are we giving them $1 billion?
For the Iron Dome?
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
Maybe it's in America's best interest to keep our... I don't know. That's one of those things why are we doing this? $1 billion. Okay. Last week, after she initially voted against the Iron Dome funding and later amended her vote to present, Ocasio-Cortez was accused of shedding crocodile tears. Last month, Ocasio-Cortez refused to rule out a primary challenge next year against Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, while insisting that the two of them have been working very closely. The Jewish Telegraphic Agency, an international news agency and wire service which monitors Jewish voting patterns. That's the other thing. How do Jews vote Democrat when you've got Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, AOC that are clearly anti-Semites? They are clear Muslim supporters, Muslim extremist supporters, and they hate Jewish people. Why do you continue to vote for these people? Why do you continue to vote in people that hate you for your religion and would rather see you back in Israel and dead? I don't understand that. That makes no sense to me. Jessica Tarlov, a Fox News contributor and political analyst who serves as a senior director or research and consumer insight to Bustle Digital Group, says Ocasio-Cortez should be wary of crossing Jewish voters. She already has. My God. You remember when freaking Ilhan Omar said it's all about the Benjamins in reference to a Jewish thing? Clearly anti-Semitic.
Oh, yeah.
But nothing happened. She wasn't canceled. No hate there. But she's Muslim and she gets away with it. Talk about white privilege. Talk about Muslim privilege. Talk about minority privilege. That's some bullshit. Ocasio-Cortez defeated former Democratic caucus chair Joe Crowley, a 10-term incumbent in the 2018 midterm elections to serve New York's 14th congressional district, and that's where you went wrong. Balance. Oh, we're going to move on for that one. Just her and her crocodile. Oh, we don't... Greta Thunberg is back in the news. This little brat's still here. Whatever. Greta Thunberg brands Britain as one of the biggest climate villains. Shut the fuck up. As you fly around on your private jets, shut the fuck up, you little brat. Your parents should have beat you. That's all I'm going to cover on her. I fucking hate her. I think she's an idiot. That you want to give climate change to a fucking 16, 15-year-old. We're taking advice from a fucking moron. Are you serious with this? This is what we're doing now?
How dare you?
How dare you? With the crazy eyes. You want to talk? That was a brilliant move on Democrats' part to prop up this little girl as your new mouthpiece for climate change. Because, don't attack. That's your That's your David Hoggs right there. Use a kid, and then if Republicans or conservatives go against them, oh my God, you're attacking a kid. Meanwhile, they went after like Barron Trump and the rest of them. Was like, please.
I don't care.
This stuff is so fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I'm not taking climate change recommendations from a fucking, what is she, Swedish? Or some stupid fucking, like, fuck her and her family. Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. Eminem served pasta to guests at his new restaurant opening. Now, the funny part about this is he's smart. This is brilliant. Eminem surprised guests by serving up pasta at the grand opening of his mom's spaghetti restaurant in downtown Detroit. How long do you think this restaurant's going to stay in business? Downtown Detroit. I mean, good for him for like trying to stimulate the local economy. I mean, that's awesome. But how long do you think that's going to last?
The last time I was in Detroit, the downtown area, it looked like it was on the maybe coming up.
Oh, really?
They got this little river walk right across from Windsor over there. Actually didn't look bad, but
I wonder what it looks like after dark.
I don't know.
In the real world, they're shutting Detroit
they got the casinos
down.
over there.
They got casinos in Detroit?
Yep.
They're legal up there?
Yep.
Oh.
Sure is.
Well, good for Eminem. It said the rapper's restaurant is in reference to a line from Eminem's 2000 hit song, Lose Yourself. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. Eminem's rap song says there's vomit on his sweaters already, Mom Spaghetti. He was quickly recognized by fans who took to social media to post pictures of M handing out spaghetti, meatballs, and other Italian foods on his menu. On the menu is Mom Spaghetti for $9, Mom Spaghetti with meatballs for $12, and Sketty Sandwich Spaghetti on bread for $11. Mom Spaghetti is all ready, the restaurant proclaims in a promo. The Oscar and Grammy-winning rapper and actor experimented with the eatery as a pop-up restaurant in 2017. But didn't he say that he didn't want Trump supporters to like his music or like? So don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you voted for Trump,
yeah, that guy's a douchebag.
Don't give him your business. He said he didn't want your business.
Yeah,
like just remember that. Remember when Eminem said that. Now is the time to enact that. You don't want my money? Fair enough.
What do you think the odds are that it's spaghetti out of a can?
They'd probably make it fresh.
They would.
Yeah, they'd have to. I hope it fails. Honestly, because I hate him for that. Yeah, I forgot all about that until just now. I was like, oh yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's a douchebag.
He is a douchebag.
Yeah, he should have stuck to his
line in the sand.
His crappy music.
No more Trump. He was doing his little rap thing. My line is in the sand. If you voted for Trump, fuck you. What happened to you, M? Like, what happened to you? You were anti-establishment.
I know.
You were anti-government. Fuck you, Bush. Fuck you, Tipper Gore. Talking about the FCC and all this shit, and then M gets older and turns into like, hey, I'm thankful for not fucking getting vaccinated. I don't know, whatever. But he says, I'm thankful for not being 50 and having to wear a fucking mask. It's like, bro, you're going after Slipknot? Like these dudes, you just admitted it, they're 50 and fucking crushing it. Like you really want to start, and then he got booed in the crowd. They were like, fuck you. Like, dude, you really want to go after Slipknot? You're an idiot, man. I realize that you're banging fucking Megan What's-Her-Face, who's like probably 90% plastic.
Yeah, I only know
Jesus.
the name just because I guess Conor McGregor almost punched him in the face at a red carpet event.
And I kind of wish he would have. I do wish he would have fucking knocked him on his ass because Machine Gun Kelly's a fucking douche. But anyway, the point was Machine Gun Kelly actually had some serious truths to his little rap they went. I can't even believe we're discussing this.
I don't even know who he is. I can't tell you. I could pass him on the street. I'd be like, who's that weirdo?
Yeah, you would think that. I can't believe that we're actually even talking about, now that I think about it, two men that write twisted poetry to a beat and make millions? Like,
I guess, knock your hustle, but I don't.
Report, trans athletes retain physiological advantages over women. Wait, what? Like what? You don't say. A comprehensive UK report into transgender participation in sport determined Thursday trans men who identify as women retain distinct physiological advantages when competing in female categories, even if they suppress testosterone levels. Yes, muscle density, all of this comes into play. Like if you're a personal trainer, you kind of know this first fucking hand.
Yeah, and you could also see the outline of their penis and their running pants.
You know, you're pretty hot for a woman, but that penis just keeps turning me off.
Is that a penis?
Is that a penis? I don't know. Such is the competitive advantage, the report urges consideration be given to adopting universal or open categories in order to protect female-only competition. I would love, some about this yesterday, I would love to see an open trans woman turned man go fight in the UFC. Or go fight, just go fight. And then watch them get the shit. Yeah, a woman that turns into a man. Go fight in a men's league and watch what happens.
Probably like the man who turned into a woman.
Beat the fuck out of the other girl. If the woman that turns into a man fights other men, she's going to get the shit knocked out of her. I guarantee she's going to get the shit kicked out of her.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because we're not all the same.
Yeah,
we're not the same.
We're not.
Doesn't make one better, but we're not the same. Such as the competitive categories in order to protect female-only competition while allowing transgender participation after... Why are we giving mentally unstable people a category to compete in? I'm sorry. I don't understand this. Like, do what you want, but the world should not create... I know I've said it before. Like, if we have to go this route, then give transgenders their own league to where men and women, whatever the fuck they are, can compete in their own little league of crazy, and you go over there and do your thing.
Yeah.
Like, you want to cut your dick off, you want to sew a dick on, don't really care. You go fight amongst each other over there and do your shit, whatever transgenders do. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just gone too far. I think it's gone way too far. This stuff is, we've gone into the realm of insanity, to pandering to the single percentile, to make them feel inclusive. It's not enough to say, okay, hey, do what you want with your own body. Now it has to be, you have to acknowledge it, you have to respect it, and if you don't celebrate it, you're gonna be demonized. Well, fuck you. I'm not celebrating. I think it's a psychological disorder.
I want to say we're the majority here.
Oh, we're 100% the majority.
Yeah,
100%.
And so it's, why are we letting such a small percentage of people dictate?
Because I think ultimately it boils down to virtue signaling. I think it boils down to virtue signaling. And this is the other reason why I wanted to hear about from like men and women and shit like that in the bedroom, because stuff like this in our next article, or basically what I'm seeing is stuff like this is that it's changed. It's changed everything in the dynamics of how we are as a society. So I put up a post on my Instagram and I said, women, what is it that you really want from men? What is it that you really, really want? And maybe this is a little skewed because I kind of know my following.
Tell me what you want. What you really want.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. And the overwhelming majority of messages that I received were they want a man to be dominant in the bedroom. They want the man to take charge. So whoever we lost the battery on that one. That camera's dead.
I'll be right back.
Whoever my little troll is that messaged my partner, stuff like that, and talked about me getting off on these messages. Now I have Pornhub for that. But anyway, the purpose of this only proves that women, I feel, are not getting what they want from the majority of men, because I think men are essentially, we see how society has evolving or de-evolved rather, and we see that, women, I think specifically feminists, third wave campus feminists that essentially don't want equality, they just want preferential treatment, realistically. They've changed how men approach many of them, I feel. But I think at heart, many women still exist in this world that still want the alpha male type dominance in the bedroom and in life. And that's something that nobody's really going to cover. They're not going to talk about it. So that was, and then men, of course, from what I saw in the messages, and I think women responded way more than the men did, but the men were basically talking about, I think for the most part, just physical stuff. They want big tits and an ass, stuff like that. I mean, it's the natural response from most men, I think, that you would kind of think we're to get. But women, it didn't surprise me, but kind of did, but all of them basically along the same lines said the same thing. I want a man to be dominant. I want him to pull my hair. I want him to slap my ass. I want him to fuck me like a porn star. I want all these things. I want him to be a man. Why are they not getting that? Why are they not getting that? That's my biggest question. Why are men not giving them that? And I think it's the feminists that are at fault. I don't blame men on this. When men react in this age of Me Too, in this age of believe all the whammons, believe all this stuff, men are legitimately like a little afraid. It's like we're kind of afraid to fucking be that way because we're going to catch some charges or some shit like that. Like, oh my God, he raped me. It's like, wait, you told me to spit in your mouth. Like, what the fuck do you want from me? Men are afraid. So women that are not getting what they're wanting from their partners, you have feminism to blame, in my opinion. You have feminism. And when I say that was the overwhelming majority of the messages, that was it. That was it. Women wanted men to be dominant in the bedroom. It was nothing in there about equality. It was nothing in there about, I just want to be respected. No, it was the exact opposite. I want to be disrespected. I want to be fucked like a porn star. I just don't know of one single woman that would want to have sex with a guy who cries after.
Do you think a porn star just wants to be fuck like a regular person?
No. I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah. I think they do. I think they do.
Like, you know what? Just,
no, because I
let's
remember
do it missionary.
You remember Jenna Jameson came out with her book years ago, and I think in that she talked about like the atrocity of the industry. But I remember her saying something specifically about like how is sex with a porn star in your private life? It's normal. Like what you see in pornography is not how sex is, unless you're just really good. What's up, ladies? You're gonna get a message from the troll too. Like John's trying to fuck all these women. Yeah, whatever.
He blocked me.
Of course he did. Blocked. But that was the biggest consensus across the board. Was women did not want effeminate men that cared so much about if they were hurting them or not. They wanted a man, a caveman, a masculine man. They want domination until we catch a charge. Yeah. Tammy K says Ian Smith was right when he said deep down women with feminine men want an alpha male, and I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that. They want a protector. They want somebody that's going to be there, but not treat them like they're not an equal. But we have to acknowledge the differences between male and female. Men are generally stronger. It goes back to the dawn of time. Men were the hunter-gatherers. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot done to ensure that women got the equality they deserved. But I think where we went too far at is that we started denying realities that are truth. And for example, what makes us different? I think women have way more patience than men. I think women are the compassionate side. I think men, we tend to be a little bit more, I don't know, closed off. We tend to be a little bit more aggressive. We have testosterone. We have all these things that make us men. But they have things that make them women, which is what I love. That's what most men love, unless you're gay. And then you look for whatever it is you look for in a man. Or you're a woman that looks for... Okay, we're going to leave that one. I don't know. Okay. I don't even know how we're going down that road. But you get what I'm saying. Women don't want a bitch. They don't want a bitch. They want a masculine dude. And, you know, and the other thing is, this is another thing people don't realize. In those messages, there wasn't one thing... No, there was one message. There was one answer that said she wanted muscles. There was nothing in there about muscles, for the most part. They wanted the intellectual connection, the stimulation, which makes sense to me. But nowhere in there did they say, I want someone that's going to go easy on me, that's not going to, or that's going to be like too respectful. It was the exact opposite. But I think where men are probably going to get that wrong is they want that outside of the bedroom as well. It's like, no. That's for like the bedroom only. Like you don't call her a slut when she's in the kitchen making dinner. It's like, hey, slut. It's like, oh, no. That was your first mistake. So, but that was really interesting to me because I felt like, I don't know, because I think on the opposite side of the house, you have a lot of conservatives out there. There was like one conservative influencer I got into it with because she was all like, I'm all for gender roles. Women should be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. It's like, oh man, you're really doing a disservice to what progressiveness has brought us in the name of equality.
I don't know, but if that's what you want,
if that's what you want,
yeah, that's what you want. That's
but
what
like,
you
stop
want.
trying to push that onto the people and guilt tripping them into thinking like this is what you should want as well.
Yeah.
Women belong in the kitchen. No, they don't. They can go wherever the fuck they can. Imagine you being a woman and being told that. Like, your only responsibility is to stay home and be pregnant. Or be barefoot or be a homemaker. Now, I'm not knocking if that's what you want.
I think that's a very admirable position because I think probably kids who have their mom that stays at home and does
wonderful, we need
like
more
all those
parents,
wholesome things. I mean, I think that's an extremely important job, and I don't think it should be considered.
Fuck no.
I put
something
down
to look down your nose at. Yeah,
be like,
people
it's a very important job.
100%. You're raising the next generation. People that look down their nose at stay-at-home moms, like, have you ever raised children?
Yeah.
God bless them. That patience. Whew.
Yeah.
That's why men and women are different. Women, I think, have that level of and they have such a deeper, stronger connection to children than men ever will. That they lived inside of them for 9 months. They have such a supernatural connection men will never have with children. I don't think it's possible. It's like that grew inside of you. That was you. That was a part of you.
Well, that's just biology. Men are men and women are women. So
100%.
Different things. So,
I was told that we're from Mars. I don't know if that's true or not.
Remember
when that book went viral? Like, everybody, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Imagine like doing that now. It's like, oh my God, that's such bigotry. It's such misogyny. It's such sexism. Like, shut the fuck up and get in the kitchen now.
You're from my anus.
Oh my God. And I'm not knocking that. I'm saying the thing that I think where it crosses the line is when you try and guilt trip people into thinking You want people to think just like you. And this woman, like, you could tell she was brainwashed. She was just kind of like, what's your issue with people wanting to stay home? I was like, no. You misunderstand me. That's not my issue. My issue is you trying to make other people feel guilty for not making the same life choices as you to stay home and raise their children. Some women want a career. Some women don't want to have children. And that's perfectly acceptable. That's perfectly fine. And if that's the case, if that's the state of affairs, then so be it. But that's where I take issue.
I think if you want to get your point across like that, then you got to live your best life.
Yeah, 100%.
That you're trying to convince other people to live.
Yeah.
So if you're saying this is the best way to raise your children and raise your family,
yeah,
then your actions will speak a lot louder than your words.
Oh, I agree.
So
it's just the guilt tripping types.
Yeah, when you start to guilt trip, and
yeah.
that's when you're going to turn people off. Like, get the vaccine, wear a mask. Be like,
yeah,
it's the same thing. Like, stop. Just stop.
Texas border county votes to sue Biden for failing to enforce the law. I love this. Texas border county votes to sue Biden for failing to enforce the law. A Texas border county voted this week to sue the Biden administration for allegedly failing to enforce the immigration and border security laws in the United States. County officials said the White House failed Del Rio in the buildup of the Haitian migrant crisis that brought thousands of migrants to the county this month. Biden's getting sued left and right.
Just total D-bag.
Because there's so many states that are suing him now in regards to the vaccine mandates they're trying to come out people with.
Yep.
So
he's
wow.
This administration is just
it's in shambles.
I mean, they're lighting the United States on fire right now, just with all their terrible ideas and policies.
Is there a single Democrat out there right now that can be proud of what they voted for? Because I certainly don't think that should be the case in many things out there.
If they do, I'm sure they'll come out and say that they're proud of what they're doing.
Is there a single Democrat that any of you know that would raise their hand and say, oh, no, I think Biden's doing a damn good job? It's like, can you honestly say that?
I'd be interested to hear their logic behind it. If they do say yes, like,
well,
why?
Have they ever had logic, though?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know.
See if you get a Democratic senator on.
Well, I tried for Tulsi. I don't think she wants to come on.
Tulsi?
Yeah.
What about the bisexual one from
I could
senator
reach out,
from Arizona?
I think it'd be very interesting hearing their logic, though. Because I think they're going to pull away from Biden and go more focused on party.
Yeah.
I think they're focused way more on rebuilding the party. You know, they talked about how Republicans are going to have this massive breakdown in the party. I think we're actually seeing that more so on the left now. I think now the party is going to be separating and distancing itself from Biden because this administration is just insanity.
Both parties need to have some people weeded out. Like,
absolutely.
Like your Lindsey Grahams, your McConnells, your Mitt Romneys.
Yep.
I mean, all these people who have been in government for most of their lives now.
Yep.
Like, they need to be gone. It's time for a fresh voice to come in.
I think
a new way, because what they've been doing obviously hasn't been working, and they're clearly corrupt.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's no way to look at these politicians and not think that they're corrupt, because they're all extremely wealthy. Like, they're the 1%.
Yeah. I think the bipartisan Valverde County Commissioners Court voted unanimously to seek legal action against President Joe Biden for the invasion of the county in Del Rio. San Angelo Live reported. It is time that we get together with other counties and cities along the border to stand up and do something. This is how it should have been from the get-go.
Yeah.
I think now you've realized, and I'm not blaming these people, but I'm saying now you're realizing just how inefficient and ineffective the government is. When we did the interview with Ian Smith, he even said, we talked about, I was always kind of skeptical of the government. I was like, kind of. He's like, well, more so now. I was like, now you learn. Like, you don't trust the government. You do not trust them to get anything fucking done. If you want it done right, you got to go do it yourself.
They swept his bank account.
$140,000.
$140,000.
$140,000.
Because he didn't bend the knee. Yeah. Kept his doors open.
Well, apparently the bank took it. Apparently the bank took that money and they froze it. So that's just mind-blowing to me. That would even...
I thought they went in... From my understanding from the interview was that the government left it's from the state of New Jersey. So it was the state of New Jersey swept your account, so they go in and do their paperwork.
They coordinated with the bank,
right.
And the bank did it. Now, apparently from what Ian said, the bank is still holding on to it, but for somehow the state legal representatives got them to freeze it.
Yes.
And I'm just like, how was that even legal?
It seems...
And also without no notification. No notification. Ian said they opened up the bank account and the money was gone. It's like, what the shit? Like, if they have the power to do that.
Like, you just declared war, right?
Yeah. Like, I'm just
you're going
wow.
in. Now you just... stolen my money because of some
Yeah.
ridiculous policy that you don't agree with. It's crazy.
You know what really made me realize how bad it's gotten is that these people in these positions of power are no longer going by the law. They're just doing what they want. And that's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's insanely dangerous.
Because
They're
those
just
aren't
doing
laws.
whatever they want.
Those aren't laws.
No,
Like,
they're mandates.
Yeah.
And people don't realize it takes Congress to enact laws.
Yeah.
So people saying, oh, it's the law. It's like, no, that's not true. It's not a law. You don't have to obey that. It's not a law. But that was this bullshit that was passed that so many people bought into. It's like, oh, no, it's a law. It's like, no, it's not a law. It's a mandate.
Right.
And it's not legal. It didn't even go through fucking state legislation.
You want to talk about getting whipped? That guy
Jesus.
just got whipped. Whipped out of $140,000.
Jesus. And it's not, I hope he gets it back. It is time that we got together with other counties and cities along the border to stand up and do something. Commissioner Bo Nettleton, a Republican, said during the meeting of the commissioner's court, I don't have the answer to whether a lawsuit solves this problem, but it draws attention to this problem. They took the same oath of office that I did to uphold the Constitution, the laws of the United States, and laws of Texas. They need to do their job and stop what is going on. Earlier this month, Valverde County Judge Louis Olson, a Democrat, told the San Angelo news outlet he blamed Biden administration for the crisis that built up upwards of 15,000 migrants were camped under the Del Rio Bridge. Finally, when Democrats are saying, wait a minute, you know something's wrong. And it usually comes when it impacts them first. Like, they don't have enough common sense for a lot of them to see what's coming and saying, hey, that's probably not a good idea. We probably shouldn't vote for that. And I think this new tax bill or this new freaking reparations thing or whatever he's calling it, the $3.5 trillion
reparations.
I mean,
It's probably, that's pretty close to what it is.
reconciliation. Thank you. They're I think like there's one Democrat right now saying, hey guys, this is not good. You know, you're going to tax the richer and the middle and poor are going to pay more. So it doesn't make sense to me. But at least there's one Democrat down there's like, hey, no, this is not a good fucking idea. This is not a good time. We should stop. Biden is responsible. And I think more and more of this is going to occur. So I honestly feel in 2022 with the midterms, and I honestly feel in 2024, like I said before, we need 4 years of Biden. This honestly could be a blessing in disguise because I think we're going to see how bad it can get with Democrat control. And then I think we're going to have a lot of Democrats switch over. They're going to switch sides and say, nope.
Yeah, I don't know that we need 4 years.
We're getting 4 years.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
it turns out it looks like Kamala's her popularity poll is probably rising a little bit. What looks like.
I mean, it's not hard to fucking beat out a dead guy. You got weekended Bidens. He's like
Weekend
dead.
Bidens.
It's like if you lose to this, like you're really shitty. Pope Francis decries jihadist massacres in northern Nigeria. I don't really like Pope. Shut your mouth. Like, dude, what you have to say doesn't resonate with anybody anymore. You don't have power, nor should you. He says, Rome Pope Francis expressed his sorrow over jihadist attacks in northern Nigeria that claimed more than 50 lives over the weekend. He says, I learned with sorrow the news of the armed attacks last Sunday against the villages of Madamai and Ebun in northern Nigeria, the Pope said following his general audience in the Vatican Wednesday. I pray for those who have died, for those who were wounded, and for the entire Nigerian population. He said, I hope that the safety of every citizen might be guaranteed in the country. Unidentified men armed with guns and machetes killed 34 residents Sunday in the Kaduna state village of Madami, local media reported, while others attacked the neighboring village of Abum. One resident said he counted a total of 44 corpses in the local mortuary from the two attacks. Meanwhile, 8 others were killed in nearby local government area of Zangan Kataf. Kaduna State Security Commissioner Samuel Aruna confirmed the deaths in a communique, adding that several others had sustained injuries from the Madami attack. The assailants also set a number of houses ablaze, 3 of which were saved by security forces. The same day, militants from an offshoot of the jihadist Boko Haram terror group raided a Nigerian military base in northwestern Sokoto state near the Nigerian border, killing 22 people, 14 soldiers, 5 policemen, and 3 members of the civil defense forces. Holy crap. Holy crap. But the Pope's was like, I don't like the attacks in Nigeria is a very bad thing. We should condemn this. And people could be like, shut the fuck up. You have no power.
I think he's from Argentina.
No, shit.
With your Argentinian accent.
I think the people of Nigeria probably have a very serious status problem, and they should probably, my girlfriend can do it much better than I can. She's from Colombia, so. Yeah, I feel like when the Pope opens his mouth is probably when he should shut it. It's like, dude, you've like, how any Catholic still believes in you is just beyond me at this point. When you've folded so many times,
he may be the Antichrist.
I think
I've got a lot of people on my Antichrist watch list.
You think anybody's? I like this. Like, no. That's the Antichrist.
He's on my list.
He's on my list.
Possible Antichrist.
You're going on the list. He's on Josh's Antichrist list. Oh my god. I think Peppermint Patty is the Antichrist. Then General or Jen Psaki. I think she's the Antichrist.
She could be. You never know.
Don't go on Josh's list. You don't want to be on the list. So,
riding.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for this episode of the All American Savage Show podcast. We thank you for tuning in. Make sure you check out our sponsor, which is us as well. I guess we sponsor our own show. ShellshockCBD.com. We've got the new gummies that are live right now. And also, by the way, and here's the other thing I forgot to tell you guys. If you are a member of the Shell Shock CBD Facebook group, or if you follow us or anything like that, we are getting content removed left and right from Instagram and Facebook. They are flagging it. And it's completely legal. This is just CBD. This isn't even Delta 8. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, there are other CBD businesses on the platform that are, number one, verified, and none of their posts are being pulled down. Ours are. So what we're doing is if you sign up for the email list or the SMS list, you will be notified when we have new products available or running sales. You have my word. We do not spam you. We do not sell your email list. This is completely ours. Nobody gets access to this. It's only to get to you, the consumer. So social media, when they try and axe us or limit our reach and things such as this means we have a direct line of communication to you. So take that for what it is. You have my word. We do not sell our email list. We do not spam you. We only let you know when we're running great deals or launching new products. That's the only reason to do it. So you can check it out at shellshockcbd.com. If you go to the website, a little pop-up, use that. Fill that in. And it'll give you all the information you need. Make sure you sign up for that because, like I said, you don't want to miss something, especially when we do limited run tankers, pipes, things such as that. That way you know. So, again, we appreciate the love and support. The new gummies are now live. We have some amazing new products coming your way. And when I say amazing, amazingly new, we're talking about like, I don't know if I want to tell them yet or not. Should we?
Yeah.
The Doritos, the Cheetos. I'm sorry, they're not Cheetos. They're not Doritos, but they're Delta 8 chips.
Yeah.
We have Asteroids, hard,
Flaming
chewy candles.
hot.
Candies, not candles, Jesus.
Doritos or Weedos.
Anyone, and there's even people in the chat saying that's true. They don't spam. They're on the email list. They know this. Like we don't. Because Racer says I get free shipping coupon codes all the time. The guys are fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Java Dude says spam me harder, daddy. So check out the email list. Go join up to it. Go sign up to it. We have the SMS. We are going to be running a sale in the future to where it's going to be a 40% discount on a specific product, but only SMS subscribers get that. Yes, that's to incentivize you to sign up for the phone number. And again, yeah, I'm not even going to lie about that. I mean, anybody can see through something like that. So yeah,
it's a great savings.
It is. It's fucking amazing savings. But essentially, if you sign up for it, you get a direct text with a link. It says, this is where it's at. Here's the code. Go get it. That's it. And if you don't like it, opt out. It's just that easy. So sign up for the email list. Sign up for the SMS list. That way you never miss an opportunity. You never miss a new product or especially a sale. So thank you very much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you right back here. Actually, no, I will not be here tomorrow. I've got something going on tomorrow. So the podcast, I might do the podcast from my home. I'm not sure. I'll talk to you about it offline on that one. I have a TV being installed. So whatever. It's my game room. I got an 85-inch coming in. Okay, let me just get into this real quick. I bought fair enough. I bought the last television from my realtor, and it was a flat screen.
Yeah.
I think it was like a 55-incher, and I was like, oh, cool. I've never had one of these before. I've never been into stuff like I always play on my computer. So I was in Best Buy the other day. I just bought another new TV. I gave my other one away. I bought a new one. I think it's a 65-inch. And it's got like all the bells and whistles. It's got like the HD shit. So
these new smart TVs are just incredible.
It's insane to me, bro.
I did the same thing over Christmas. It was just eye-opening.
Okay. Well,
Sorry.
No. I'm saying like I'd never known, like, because I remember like people talk about that kind of stuff. I never paid attention. I was more focused on my computer build out to have like best graphics there. But anyway, my girlfriend and I went to Best Buy. We bought the TV. We came back. We set it up, and just for shits and giggles, we turned on porn. No, I'm just playing. No, we actually do that. Whatever. I turned on The Hobbit because we wanted to go rewatch the Lord of the Rings series. We turned on The Hobbit, and the intro with surround sound blew me the fuck away. Then the graphics were like, holy shit. So I went back to Best Buy and bought an 85-inch here with like surround and the lights. Like it has the flashing lights. It was like I've never had. I don't spoil myself except unless it's like something big or extravagant, like the Vet or the bike or the Tesla. But when I do, it's like, you know what? I'm fucking doing this. I'm gonna fucking do it. So I have an 85-inch being installed tomorrow. TV, Josh, calm yourself.
Okay.
85-inch TV. And I'll post pictures on my Instagram. Like I'm excited. And apparently they have lights that go around the television. And this is how much of a boomer I am. That when certain movies are synced up to it, the lights reflect what the movie is doing. So if there's like a storm in the movie, the lights in the back of TV create lightning. Like that's nuts. That's so fucking cool. Like are y'all tracking this? Like I imagine they probably are. You gotta be. Like people are
I'm
so
sure like
more,
most of people listening have new TVs now. I still have the same Samsung TV for like the past 15 years.
And I figured if I'm gonna do it, let's just go big or go home. Like no pun intended. Because I walked in there and the guy, like God bless him, he was so nice about it. He was just like, "Oh, what are you looking for?" I was like, "What's the biggest thing you got?" And he looked at me and was like, "What to the back?" You beat me too. I was like, "What's in my pants?" No, it was just like 85 inches. Like, how big is that? And then he shows me. I'm like, "Oh, do you have anything bigger?" And he's like, "No." Follow me to the back. Follow me to the back. Yeah, so that's being installed tomorrow. So I'm real, and the other cool thing is I'm hooking my computer up to it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get myself a PlayStation 5, and I'm gonna hook my computer up to it so I can play my computer games on the television. So I have dual screen monitors. But it's like, wait a minute, what if I was playing Call of Duty on an 85-inch fucking HDMI television with surround sound?
It's like you're actually in the game.
Oh my god, that would so be great.
Am I the only one that uses an Xbox?
Yes. No. Lots of people use Xboxes. I honestly, I think for me, you know, there's this big beef between PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. It's ultimately, I think, what you're most comfortable using as far as your controllers. Like, I do like PC for some games, but I've always been a PlayStation guy because I grew up on the controller style, like Nintendo to PlayStation. Xbox, I remember I had an Xbox at one point. I just didn't like the controller and how it was set up. I just didn't feel comfortable. But you know, there's that age-old freaking beef back and forth between Xbox and PlayStation. You know, Xbox is better than PC. It's like the master race.
Right.
We're below you peasants. You know, we pay more, but we also have to pay more in updates and shit like that. So I don't know, man. I think it's to each their own. It's whatever you're into and whatever you enjoy doing, then fucking rock out with it. So, but no, I got that being installed tomorrow. So there will not be a podcast tomorrow, or I might just do it from my home. I'm not sure. But anyway, anything to add?
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, guys. We will talk to y'all, if not tomorrow, then Monday morning, 10 a.m. CST, right here